friends, welcome to the expert group. Our today's topic is the generation of electricity. How we can produce electricity. There are different processes through which the electricity can be produced. Here we'll discuss the light as a source of electricity, then the heat, how we can produce electricity by using heat, and then the frictional force to produce electricity, then the process of producing electricity through pressure, and then the chemical process, and in the last the magnetism, that is the very important process. How we can produce the electricity through the chemical action. As we in the daily life we are using much more different types of cells. They always use the chemical action in them to produce the electricity. These voltages produced by chemical reaction, for example in a battery cell or an electrolyte, all the cells are basically using these chemical action to produce the electricity. Then there is the frictional force that is used to produce electricity. Voltage produced by rubbing certain materials together would create the electricity in them. Here in the example you can see that the glass rod is rubbed through a silk cloth and it will produce the static electricity in the rod and also in the silk cloth. The one would be positively charged and the other would be the negatively charged, and when we touch these charged materials to some other material, this would cause the current to flow. And this is the smaller example, and when we see the greater example, the electricity through the clouds, that would be in the thousands of volts, that would be between the earth and the clouds. The pressure is also the source of electricity, and this is also called the piezoelectric effect. The voltage produced by squeezing crystals of certain substances such as quartz or Richel salts, we can produce the electricity. In the example you can see that the crystal is compressed and decompressed to produce the electrons and cause them to flow, and it will ultimately be the production of the electricity. In the practical examples, the piezoelectric effect have much more important uses in our daily life. Light is also the source of electricity. Voltage produced by light striking upon the photosensitive cells or photosensitive materials, the electricity would be produced. You can see in the pictures that this is the symbol of photoelectric substance, and then you can see here the light has been strike upon a material that is the photosensitive, and it will ultimately produce the electrons and cause them to flow, and that electron flow would be used in some other substance as a source of electricity. Then heat also can be used as the source of the production of electricity. The voltage produced by heating the joints where the two unlike metals are joined. These have very important use in different aviation fields, that for example in the engines where normal thermometers or other temperature measuring equipment would not be useful, then this technology can be used to measure the temperature of the engine. Here the thermocouple devices that are called the thermocouples would be used, where the two different type of materials would be joined together and placed inside the combustion chamber or very much higher temperature levels. It would cause that heat would cause the different voltages in those materials of different substances, and it would create a potential difference between them. This is the hot junction. It would be in the higher temperature, and this is the cold junction, which can be the cockpit of the aircraft or other the displays sections of the system. So that potential difference would ultimately can be used to display the temperature of the inside of the engine or other higher temperature compartments. The magnetism is also a very great source of the production of electricity. We can see in our daily life the generators, and they use the magnetic systems to produce the electricity. The voltage produced in a conductor, when the conductor moves through a magnetic field, or magnetic field moves through the conductor in such a manner as to cut the magnetic lines of force of the field that would cause the electrons to flow. When the DC electricity is passed through a wire, you can see that the magnetic field rotates around the wire in a specific direction. Here in the picture you can see these are the magnetic lines of force, and a current can be seen to flowing from the one direction to the other. When we cause a conductor to move inside a magnetic field, or the magnetic field to change, then it will cause the electrons to flow in that conductor. So it is also a very big source of electricity. This was all about the definitions of the sources of electricity. So for more elaborated systems of production of electricity in the future, we will discuss each process separately, that how these systems can be used to produce the electricity. Thank you for watching. For more videos, subscribe our channel, and thank you very much.